Hello, good afternoon from this part of the world, and greetings or good morning, good evening from the other parts of the world where you may be viewing in. This is Yvette from Healing Words with Yvette and Marriage Mentoring with Yvette. You are in the Empowerment and Hope Summit page. Welcome to our Lipstick and Literacy series. I am one of the hosts or co-hosts of the program, the founder and originator of the Empowerment and Hope Summit Facebook group page, as well as the summit, is Bucola Oriola, and she is unable to attend this Lipstick and Literacy series this morning on Saturday, May 20th, but stay tuned because she will be coming on future segments. So this is our first kickoff, and I would like to welcome you. I wish I could play some jazzy music or something that authors have at some of these book readings or like these poetry sets, but I'm not sure about the Facebook rules and policy on that, and I don't want the page to get locked up. I also want to give a shout out to Deborah Sawyer, who is also going to be coming on live after me if time and weather permits. You know, Saturdays can be very busy for a lot of us with unexpected activities and chores and tasks and things of that nature. But I am the first one who has the mic. I'm up, I'm ready. And again, I would just like to welcome you to this Lipstick and Literacy series. Now, the name of the series was kicked off because last week there was someone inquiring and they said they loved my lipstick color. Well, there's a method to that. Sometimes when you go lipstick shopping, they don't have your color. So what I did is I combined two colors. So the color choices that I am wearing right now are Black Plum by Shea Moisture. I know there's a lot of controversy about that company right now, but I bought it on sale way before the controversy. But I'm wearing Black Plum, and I'm also wearing the color Cashmere by Wet n Wild, and I mixed the two together. So hence, that's why you see this beautiful color happening here. And next week, I may have a different color choice, but this is kind of like my go-to color. I inherited this color from my mom, actually. She always wore like a darker, raisiny kind of lipstick, and I just love it. But I'll be exploring because this is the Lipstick and Literacy series. But men, you are not left out because men wear lip gloss or some sort of, moisturizer to keep their lips looking healthy. And so you are also welcome to this Lipstick and Literacy series. I am the author of a book titled The Marriage Journal. It is a 7-week journey, and it's specifically for married couples, but also couples that are engaged. And the premise behind it is I wanted to have something to offer to cross-cultural couples. I am in a cross-cultural marriage. My husband is African. He hails from the country of Cameroon, which is in Central Africa. It's a very beautiful country. And he comes from an ethnic group of very beautiful people, very peaceful and loving, and I just want to give a shout out to Cameroon. So with this book in mind, I talk about different strategies or communication skills that couples can use to enhance their communication style. I am also a life coach, a marriage mentoring coach, and the idea behind this journal is that I want couples and people to come up with their own answers to their issues. but I like to give some guidance, and that comes through the form of questioning. So, how did I come to write this journal? Let me back up a little bit here. We are doing an author reading. So sometimes when you attend a book reading, you may actually have the author reading from their book, reading pages or a section, maybe even a chapter spread out over the course of the entire book reading, which generally lasts an hour for an author. But book readings can take on many forms. They can be a summary of the book. They can be a story that leads to why the author wrote the book, which is what mine will be. It will be a story. But it takes on many forms, and it's basically the author's choice or discretion as to how they deliver their message. So, starting of why I wrote the marriage journal. Because I am in a cross-cultural marriage, I tend to always look for new material and new things that cater to marriage, that cater to cross-cultural couples, and there was not anything available. If there was, maybe my searches did not land me in the right place. But I love journaling. I always, write my prayer journal, my reflection journal, just different types of journaling in a beautiful notebook that has like a quote on the front or just beautiful artwork. And I also like to subscribe to or patron, if you will, different writers who have journals, and I actually have another beautiful one, and it has a lot of nice artwork in there, health tips, just all kinds of stuff. And when I looked at it, I thought, wow, this is really beautiful and captivating, and I want to be able to write something like this for a cross-cultural couple. So hence the idea of starting the journal. Also, with my life coaching training, I wanted to combine those two things. And here you have it, the marriage journal, a 7-week journey. So there's weekly entries, and there's 7 of them for each week. The first one I talked about a couple of weeks ago, the first week is, the title of that week is Who Am I? The second one is week 2, You Are My Reflection. And that's the one I'll talk about today. We did a virtual reading last week, and the technical difficulties we were having didn't allow for the probably the fullness of the broadcast. So I will take the time right now to go over some of those points from last week. Week 2 is titled You Are My Reflection, and this is what it looks like. The entire journal has various pictures of plants and flowers because I believe that marriage is a garden. It's like a garden. You have weeds that grow up in there that need to be uprooted and thrown out. You have seeds that are being planted, and you're hoping for beautiful things to blossom, and also you're hoping that that beauty will be reflected outwardly, and people can look at your marriage and admire you and maybe aspire to marriage themselves, or even look at you and as a marriage mentor, which I consider my husband and I marriage mentors, especially for cross-cultural couples. Now, with this chapter, or this week 2, You Are My Reflection, I have a quote here from John Florio. It says, a good husband makes a good wife. Wow. Now, there was a question last week, well, what makes a good wife? What makes a good husband? There is no cookie-cutter answer to that. Each person determines what is good for them, because that is what makes your marriage work. What's good for me and what I consider a good husband someone else may not need those qualities from their mate, and vice versa. So I will say, though, what makes a good husband for me is that my husband is very kind and nurturing, friendly, and compassionate towards others as well as myself, and he really takes care of me. He just loves me unconditionally. My good days, bad days, it doesn't matter. And he's just a gentleman, a true gentleman. And I can say that I'm really honored to have him as a husband. And I feel very blessed to have such a man, that's just a remarkable human being. So with that, I want to read a little bit of what I have written for week 2. Husbands, you are generally defined as the leader in marriage. Now, this can be biblically, in most religious backgrounds, the husband is considered the leader, but also culturally, husbands are considered leaders, unless you are from a matrilineal society and women are considered leaders in the family and the home. But now in our modern 21st century, we tend to think as men as being the leaders in the marriage. Not saying that that dismisses the role of the woman as the leader, because there is an African proverb that says, woman is king, and I do believe that because women have a large role in society and family. But what I have here is, what are you planting in your marriage? Is it mercy? Is it kindness? Is it generosity? Is it care? How do you define a good wife? Does your wife agree with this definition? If she does, great. If not, will you give her the freedom to become the wife you want and the one that she wants to be? Now, I'm going to stop right there because in some societies, some family structures, husbands have a lead role where the wife does not necessarily have her own thoughts or opinion, and the husband runs things, so to speak. And in families, sometimes this can be a problem, especially in cross-cultural marriages, because there is a misunderstanding about roles and the expectation in those roles. I am fortunate because that is not an issue in my marriage with an African man who, tends to come from societies where men are leading and very dominant. So with that, I want to say, ask yourself those questions. The husband should be asking himself these questions. The wife can ask herself these questions. And then you come to a general consensus where you're going to talk, you're going to discuss, and determine what could help you better communicate in each of your roles if you are having some struggles. But if you're not having some struggles, even talk about those, and it helps to enhance the roles and the duties of each person in the marriage. Sometimes the wife may feel like, like in my case, I come from a strong family of women, whether married, divorced, or still single, and we have a characteristic, I think, in my family of being strong black women. And with that, it comes with a large amount of independence, a large amount of being highly opinionated. And with that, hello, Bukola. Thank you. Welcome. Shout out to Bukola. Wow, I didn't know she would be able to join us, but I'm happy you're here. Back to my point of the strong, independent black woman. With that, it can come with this pride and, there is pride in being able to be independent and being able to do things on your own, and especially taking care of yourself, paying your bills, and, making decisions, career choices, etc. And that was a difficult point for me when I got married. I did not know how to lay that down, lay that title or that role down, because my identity had become heavily connected with that. Now, this is not my first marriage, I must say. I'm remarried, but in my past married life, I had that role, and I kept that role because, unfortunately, in those marriages, there was a lot of issues where I just was not being supported, and everything was just amiss. So I am really fortunate that I've arrived at this point, and I can say I look forward to many years of wedded bliss. So it is now 15 minutes into the segment, and I am not sure if Deborah will be joining me next, but this is a live broadcast. Last week we were using another platform called Be Live, and you could have your host and then the other person could join in. But with the live broadcast, we are not able to maybe add another person. If we are, I'm not sure how to do that, but I'll work on that. I'll work on checking that out and see if that's an option. But as of now, I would like to bid you all a very good day, and I am confident that next time we will have 1,000 people tuning in to watch our Lipstick and Literacy series, and we look forward to more authors coming up. If you are an author or you know someone that is an author, please have them reply to the email that was sent out to the mailing list, but also send a name to the inbox, and we will be sure to follow up with those persons and get them scheduled in so they can also share their book or other material that they have. If you are interested in the marriage journal, or you know someone that is interested, please have them go to the website bit.ly/marriage garden. Now, marriage garden is capital M for marriage and G for garden. bit.ly/marriage, capital M, garden, capital G. And the book is an ebook that they will receive for $12.99 US, and it will come to your email. If you would like to purchase a hard copy, you can go to lulu.com, or a paperback like this. If you want that, you can go to lulu.com and just Google Marriage Garden. Hi, Rita. Thank you for joining. Welcome. I'm just about wrapping up, but I appreciate you stopping in on this rainy day. But if you go to lulu.com, you will be able to purchase a paperback copy. And the paperback sells for $15.99 US. Now, some people that have received the paperback copy said, well, Yvette, it's not signed. How come you didn't autograph it? And I know that that is a big deal to have an autographed copy of a book, especially from someone that you may know. It's more personal. But because the book is coming directly from the publisher, I am unable to have those in my possession and sign them, because I just don't have enough storage space in my home for lots of books. And also it cuts down on the expense of pre-purchasing lots of material and just taking up space in my home. And also, if it ships directly from the publisher, it's very likely that you will be able to receive it when you need it. instead of having me mail it to you if I'm traveling or some other things that are going on and I'm not able to get to it and mail it out from my home. So with that, I want to wrap up and say thank you very much. I appreciate you for tuning in, and stay tuned. If you do not see Deborah, she is caught up with another activity. She's on the road, and hopefully she'll be able to come up next. But Deborah Sawyer is the author of Money Literacy, and she has a plethora of information about that topic. Bukola is the author of A Living Label, and it's a motivational, inspirational book for people who have been survivors of human trafficking. But she talks about lots of things in her book. It's just a wonderful publication. I'll keep going for a few more minutes since I'm actually into that segment, but these authors are beautiful people. They have a lot of information to share with our audience. And I met Bukola several years ago when I was looking for a hair braider. And I was sitting in her chair one day, and, I decided to buy the book that her first book that she had written. And I was absolutely moved to tears at the story. It was, I just couldn't believe it. But, I'm a lit major also, and I really get involved in a book or a movie. And I was just bawling my eyes out. And I thought, wow, she has really touched me as an author. And I have admired her for so many years. And she actually helped me. She's my business coach. She helped me get my business page going, Healing Words with Yvette, and also helping me flesh out the idea of all of this information and wealth of knowledge that I have and experience to put together this beautiful publication called The Marriage Journal. And I sat down with her and I put the book together in a matter of 2 hours because I was just so full with that information already. So it was an easy write for me. I would like you to stay tuned. June 1st or maybe mid-June, I will be releasing another book publication, and it is called Marriage Mosaic. And it is a workbook for cross-cultural couples. It is coming from the idea that some things that I wish that I had when I was entering into engagement and marriage. And it is a tool, once again, to help cross-cultural couples on their wedding journey. So with that, I would like to bid you all a very good afternoon. And thank you for joining the Empowerment and Hope Summit Lipstick and Literacy Series.